What's up, everyone? Welcome to the NBA Daily Podcast, your home for useless news about the NBA. My name's Dawson Shine, and I'm your host. So, kicking it off today, we got to talk about the huge game last night between the Golden State Warriors and the Oklahoma City Thunder, Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City Thunder took a 2-1 series lead on their home court by crushing, demolishing, disintegrating, destroying, any word you want to use, the Golden State Warriors. They won 133-105. That's a 28-point victory, and let me tell you, it wasn't even that close. They were up by so much in this game that Westbrook, Durant, Ibaka, Steven Adams, Andre Roberson, not one of their starters played a single second in the fourth quarter, and yet they still won by 28. They were up by 37 points going into the fourth, and it was domination from really start to finish. They were up by 6 at the end of the first quarter, but then they doubled up the Warriors 38-19 in the second, ending the quarter on a 15-0 run. And this was all after an incident that happened. Now, this incident caused a lot of storm in the NBA. In the first quarter of this game, Draymond Green kicked Steven Adams in the private area in a pretty blatant kick and a pretty blatant attack, to be honest, and tried to play it off like it was unintentional. Now, the referees only called a flagrant 1 on this, but it honestly should have been a flagrant 2 and an ejection, in my opinion, because it was unnecessary and it was excessive harm. But they didn't call it a flagrant 2, and Draymond Green continued to play in this game. But he was so bad in this game that he was actually probably a negative for the team. He ended up hurting this team so much that he was a minus 41 in the game. Excuse me, a minus 43. That's ridiculous. He was one of the worst players on the floor. He shot 1 for 9 in this game. He had 4 turnovers, 3 fouls, and only 6 points. That's crazy to think about. Draymond Green, supposedly the third best player. He's going out there. He's roughing up Steven Adams, kicking him in the private areas for the second straight game. Doesn't get ejected, and is actually a net negative on the floor. And the Oklahoma City Thunder were fired up after this happened. They were, first of all, very frustrated that the refs did not call anything that was more than a flagrant 1 because they believed that he should have been ejected. So they went on fire. Durant was 10 for 15 in less than 32 minutes. He had 33 points, 8 rebounds. Westbrook, 10 of 19 in 31 minutes. He had 30 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds. He almost had a triple-double in less than 32 minutes. And some of their best players, besides Steven Adams, who was okay, but did have a little shaken up because of the incident, was also Andre Roberson, who had 13 points and hit 3 threes. He shot 60%. And he is now leading the NBA in shooting percentage from 3, beating out Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, all of them. That's ridiculous. Of course, he is being left wide open, but still, huge improvement. He's being left wide open for a reason. And also, Dion Waiters needs to get called out. 6 for 11. He had 13 points, 3 assists. But he has been huge, especially when the big two in Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant go to the bench. He has been monumental for scoring for them. He has turned away from actually taking his long, patented step-back twos that are contested and turned more to an offensive driving and dishing game, which has been huge for opening up shooters on the outside and helping get the entire team open looks. It's great for everyone and also great for his confidence because as he sees other players playing well around him, he'll continue to play like this. It seems like Billy Donovan has really gotten into his head and told him how he should really be playing, and it's worked. Now on the other side, besides the Draymond Green incident, there's also the fact that Klay Thompson shot 8 for 19 for 42%, but only 25% on threes, 2 for 8. He had 18 points and was a minus 41. Also, Stephen Curry was 7 for 17, 3 for 11 from 3, which you never see, for only 24 points. That's just not good. Andrew Bogut had 2 points, Barnes had 7, and Green had 6. Their starting front court had 15 points. Andre Roberson had 13 for the Thunder. You can see the difficulty scoring that the Warriors seemed to have the entire game. And on the other side, there was no lack of scoring. There was just consistent scoring every single play. And when it came out of halftime with a 25-point lead, they not only added to it, they put their foot on the Warriors' neck, stomped down, and twisted. Because it was over after the third quarter. both teams conceded that it was over. This is a 73-win team, the Warriors, and they are now down 2-1 in this series. And they're going to be playing in Oklahoma City now in Game 4. Now, of course, with Draymond Green's kick to Steven Adams' private areas, there is a huge debate over whether or not he should be suspended for the Game 4 because it was unnecessary and excessive contact. And because just the day prior, in a game I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes, Dante Jones for the Cavaliers hit with his arm the genital regions of Bismack Biyombo and was suspended for a single game for Game 4. So it seems to me that Draymond Green's kick, which was more excessive and the second time in a single series, should have warranted a suspension. But the NBA came out not even a few hours ago saying that it is not going to get a suspension for Draymond Green and he will be playing the next game, which first of all is ridiculously soft and weak and a joke by the NBA. An absolute joke. But I'm not going to feel like ranting about the NBA being too weak to give a flagrant foul or just suspend Draymond Green for a single game. I'm really mad because of the absolute hypocrisy in how the day before they said Dante Jones didn't matter whether or not it was intentional, it was a foul, it was excessive, and it deserves a suspension. And now, the next day, doesn't matter. Draymond Green, who cares? It's Draymond Green. You don't want to get him suspended. He's important for the ratings. I'm sorry, but that should not be acceptable. And it's just ridiculous that the NBA has considered that a viable reasoning. But of course, no matter how much Oklahoma City fans and I complain about this, it will not be changed. And the NBA has proven once again it does not have the balls, no pun intended, to actually act against superstars or just regular stars like Draymond Green. Just because they don't want the Warriors to lose Game 4 and potentially be down 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals. So I hope that the Oklahoma City Thunder go out there with an intent to destroy and dismantle again, because I'd love to see the Warriors fail now. I am in complete anti-Warriors bandwagon at the moment, because this is just blatant pandering to their fan base and to their team, and shouldn't be allowed by the NBA. But that's my opinion. I'd really love to hear your guys' opinion on this topic, so leave it in the comments what you think should have happened to Draymond Green. Should he have been suspended? Should he have been kicked out of the league forever? I don't know. Obviously it's excessive, but let me know what your opinions are. I'm going to be moving on to the next game, though, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers versus Toronto Raptors, Game 3. Now, we all know the Raptors did not look good in the first two games. But Game 3, at home, they came out there and they saved themselves from a sweep. They won 99-84 in a wire-to-wire victory, which helped them get a 1-2 series deficit, which is much more manageable. And they'll be playing tonight, Game 4, in order to try and tie the series up, hopefully at home. But enough about tonight. I want to talk about how the Raptors did in Game 3, which was a very, very great effort on the defensive end. Of course, only allowing 84 points by the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have not scored below 100 through the entire playoffs, and handed them their first loss of the postseason. They did this on the backs of DeMar DeRozan, who shot 12 for 24, 8 for 9 from the free throw line for 32 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, an incredible game by him. And Kyle Lowry, 7 for 13, 4 for 8 from 3 for 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And here we go. Here's a stat that's going to blow your mind. 7 points, 26 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Now, I don't know if you can guess who this is, but I'm going to give you a hint. It rhymes with Bismack Biyombo, and it is in fact him. He was unstoppable, getting boards. He had 8 offensive rebounds, 18 defensive rebounds. 18 rebounds in general is incredible. He had 18 on the defensive end and 8 more on the offensive end, for a grand total of 26, which is actually tied for the most in NBA history since 1984. Tied with players like Hakeem Olajuwon. That's incredible. And he also had 4 blocks, and those 7 points don't seem like much, but 6 of them came on 6 straight points in the fourth quarter when the Cavaliers had got the game within 8 points to help push it back to 14 and out of reach again. He was monumental on the defensive end. It cannot be overstated how important he was to this team to actually getting the win. And obviously he set a franchise record for most rebounds, considering he did tie the all-time record. But it was incredible. And on the other side, the Cavaliers, it was nothing but disappointment raining down. Obviously, you had Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan playing like they were supposed to be playing all postseason, combining for a grand total of 52 points, and with players like Patrick Patterson and Corey Joseph contributing quite a bit off the bench, with 14 and 10 respectively. and then Bismack Biyombo record-setting performance. Now that's tough to compete against, but the Cavaliers didn't come close, mainly because of poor shooting by two of their three stars. I bet you can guess who those are. Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Especially Kyrie Irving, who was 3 for 19 from the field, and those 3 for 19 for a grand total of 13 points were just ugly shots. He was not taking open shots and just missing them. He was taking these drive-in, step-back, fade-away shots. He was also taking very contested layups or threes that were just not open at all. And it led to him going 3 for 19 with a variety of ugly shots and limited passing. He had 1 assist and 3 turnovers as the point guard for this team. Now, of course, LeBron James is the main ball handler, and you should never expect Kyrie Irving to get too many assists when LeBron James is there. But if your shot's not falling, you need to stop putting your head down and trying to score and look to pass and distribute. Players like J.R. Smith stepped up big in this game to try and help the Cavaliers. He was 7 for 16 from the field, 6 of 15 from the three-point line for 22 points, and yet he was not getting fed the ball nearly as much as Kyrie Irving wanted to take his own shots. And then Kevin Love, 1 for 9. He had 3 points in this game. We're talking about an all-star, a player that's supposed to be a difference maker. He went out there and put up 1 for 9 on basically open threes and open shots. But he just couldn't hit them. It was obviously an off night, and the Raptors seemed to get into their heads, especially Kyrie Irving, who just could not get by Corey Joseph. And Kyle Lowry put up a very good effort as well. Of course, you do have LeBron James, 9 of 17, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. As usual, yawn. Another great performance by LeBron James. But it wasn't enough because the rest of his superstar tandem, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, didn't do anything important and really were detrimental to the team. So that leaves us with a very interesting situation for Game 4 tonight, with Toronto having a chance at home to take control of this series and tie it up. They won't take control as in take the lead, but if they can tie this up, they're forcing a Game 6 in Toronto, which means they could potentially force a Game 7 in Cleveland. And Game 7, anything goes. So this is going to be huge, because if they lose and go down 3-1, it's effectively over. But if they win and tie it up 2-2, then it's going to be a very interesting finish to this series. I can't wait for tonight, and I hope you guys can't either. So, let me know in the comments your thoughts about the Draymond Green suspension. I hope you enjoy the game tonight. Let me know how it goes, what your thoughts were about it in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in a few days. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and have a great night.